What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. How's it going, Mike?
Man, cannot complain, Wade. Good to be back with you here. Both of us took a little sabbatical last week. Real life got in the way, but we are ready to rock and roll with college football. Week 7 already. Time flies when you're having fun, man. What's going on? I think you're on a heater. We're both on a heater, by the way, in MLB playoffs action. Life is good. So let's keep it rolling. We swept last time out with a video, so let's sweep again.
Absolutely. Our show last episode went a nice 5-0. So let's do that again. We've also, like you said, we both have been pretty hot with MLB. I'm coming off a 3-0-1 day. We had the nice push on the under 7 in the Cubs game yesterday. Luckily, we got a push there, so I'm happy for that.
Take
College
that.
football, we cashed the under in the UTEP game last night. So yeah, man, life's going
Nice.
pretty good. Let's keep
Love it.
things rolling here. We've got a big week ahead of us. We're going to try to get an NFL video out as well tomorrow for everybody.
That's
So
right.
let's get back to the content. Let's get back to cashing free plays. I'm going to go ahead and jump onto this play here. My first play is going to be Oregon -7 against Indiana. I do feel like there are going to be quite a few people that are going to take the Indiana side here. And honestly, while I won't be shocked if Indiana does keep this thing closer, I just have a hard time getting there. I think Oregon is going to have um, the more balanced team. They're going to have the more disciplined team here. And through 5 games, they look that way. Their offense is top 10 in yards per play. They are top 10 in scoring, and they are top 10 in red zone efficiency. Led by perhaps my favorite to win the Heisman, quarterback Dante Moore. He's looked really sharp, distributing the ball to multiple weapons, and Oregon's offensive line has allowed very little pressure all season. That's going to come in handy against a very good Indiana defense. Um, Now we can talk about the strength of schedule for both teams. While Indiana has probably played a little bit of a tougher schedule, coming off of games against Illinois and Iowa, I argue that they have just not seen an offense anywhere close to what Oregon is going to bring on Saturday. Throw in the travel factor, and I will just side with my model, who likes Oregon at that -7. Even though that we're not getting a lot of value from the model, I think the line is accurate there. Um, We've seen what happens when Indiana steps up to these teams. I know this is Cignetti's second year, so maybe they'll be a little bit better off here. But when they went and played Ohio State and Notre Dame last year, they lost both of those games by more than 7. I just think they're going to run into too much here. Indiana only mustered 20 points at Iowa, putting up 337 yards of offense, which is much less than their average of 537. I actually think Indiana is going to go under that total yards of 337, and I think they're going to struggle to find 20 points. Oregon's defense is very good. I think they're going to force Mendoza to speed up his progression, speed up his reads. I think they could cause some turnovers here, and I just think overall Oregon's defense at home with that home crowd is just going to be too much for Indiana to overcome. Maybe it's close. Maybe they just win by 7 and we get the push. But I think Oregon can win this by 8 or more.
Yeah. At this current number, I definitely lean your way. It's a big time matchup, man. I'm interested to see. You hit the nail on the head. The only thing that kept me off Indiana, I wanted to play Indiana +10 at the open because I thought
Okay.
10 was any.
Yep.
But I just can't. It sounds bad. I can't get last year out of my head when they did. Like you said, anytime they tried to step up in weight class, they got a big slice of humble pie. And as cocky as Signetti is, he needs a little humble pie every once in a while. I love him as a coach, but it
Yeah.
kind of runs a little too much for my liking. But yeah, if this was, I don't know, now that it's near 7, I definitely think that the value is where you're at. It's at Oregon. Oregon, Allison's a tough place to play, man. It is really, really loud. It's a weird stadium. Don't really know how the Hoosiers are going to handle that. Should be a good game, I think, for a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's too much talent on both sides of the ball for the Ducks, man. And if you're right, Dante Moore probably has the Heisman in hand if he keeps playing the way he has been playing. And those are the beast too. He's impressed me. He looked a whole lot better in Indiana than he did at Cal. Maybe he just didn't have the weapons at Cal last year, but
I just don't
yeah,
think at Cal or here he hasn't seen the defense that Oregon's going to bring. They're not the defensive line or the cornerbacks, the speed, the athleticism. I think it's going to be a close game. I just think Oregon's going to find a way to pull away towards the end. Heck, they beat Penn State. I know it was overtime, but they beat Penn State by 6 on the road. I
yeah,
just think eventually they might be a late game touchdown. late game field goal, late game big turnover, something. But I just think Oregon will be able to get this thing to 8 or 10 points. But I think that 10.5 line at open for Indiana would have been really nice.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, like it, man. But now it's near 7. I'm with you. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Go Ducks.
All right, man. Well, what is your first play?
Yeah. Well, put the prop on. Y'all know this. I love to ride my
Hey.
guy. I'm going prime, baby. Coach Prime. I played
Oh,
Colorado plus 3.5 earlier this week. Shameless plug there for Mikey's Mashers there on the Tail Shopper platform. Roll with us on their 2-day free trial. As crazy as it sounds, man, I just think this is a rough spot for Iowa State. Actually faded Iowa State last week against Cincinnati. Cincinnati rolled them. I mean, it was nice. They dug themselves a hole early. The Cyclones did, never got out of it.
yep.
Love fading teams that are on back-to-back road trips here. The altitude playing in Boulder is rough on teams. Iowa State's not used to that. I know Rocco Beck is a beast. I respect him. He's got a great arm, above average runner as well. But did you see the shot he took? He took a absolute bell ringer shot. I don't know how they cleared him so quick. Concussion protocol. He came back in like 3 plays later. He got absolutely meleeed. I just, I don't know how good he's feeling now. He's a gamer, but man, oh man, I just watching that game. I'm like, how in the world is he going to play this week and be close to 100%? I don't know. Good spot, I think, to back Colorado. It's had some unlucky turnover luck. Caden Salter, I don't get it. He didn't turn the ball over none last year at Liberty. Of course, playing down against a lesser conference. Threw 3 picks last week against TCU, but I think he's going to figure that out. That was on the road. Expect offensive coordinator Pat Shermer to scheme up some easier throws for him, maybe some quick wide receiver screens. The Buffs have got to get rolling though, man. I think Dion just had another surgery, I think, this week on his foot. But he still didn't miss practice because he's a freaking beast. I know he's not the greatest game day coach, but he's a master motivator. I think he gets the Buffs fired up here at home. They're coming off 2 straight losses. I think it's just a good spot to buy low on Colorado. I've had a decent read on them this year. I think they've cashed for me twice. I lost for them against Georgia Tech, a late backdoor cover by the Jackets was kind of rough. They were playing for the field goal, and King took it right to the house. But other than that, I think I've won 2 or 3 other times on Colorado. I think it's just a good spot for them. I like a home field. Also, a nice little nugget here. Most of the stats point to Iowa State, but you check red zone. Colorado's way better on offense and defense in the red zone, also better on third down. So I'm taking the points and sprinkling the money line. Go Buffs. I
Hey,
don't like five.
you might be the biggest fan of Colorado that I've ever met, man. You're on
Not
them every week, but I
usually.
like it.
It's just kind of how it's worked out. It's weird. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I had him against BYU. They covered. Had him a couple other times. It's just weird. I don't know why I'm on him. There's something in my model. I don't have a model, but the three ratings I look at and kind of blend them all together into my own model, if you will. Always seem
No,
to
it's
show a bit of value. It's weird.
yeah, it's good. I think they're just good spots. I was a really big fan of Salter last year at Liberty, so I'm surprised that they haven't been able to capitalize and make him look a little bit better than what he
I
has.
know.
But
We,
that's a little
maybe this
funky.
is
But
it.
yeah, their team overall has been playing really tight games, so I think it's another good look.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. All right, let's play number 2, Big
Yeah,
Wave.
we're gonna go an under here. I'm gonna go Alabama, Missouri under 54. I got that for minus 135 over Bet 365. We got the 17 national championships for Alabama, and are they
It's
gonna
an
get
old
number
shirt.
8?
18 now.
Hey,
It's an old shirt.
well, are they going to get number 19 this year? Because they're starting to
So
trend that
big.
way. I know they're one of the highest rated teams on a lot of experts boards. They are the third highest rated team on my current model. Look, I think Alabama's defense is going to travel well here. Since the Florida State game, Alabama has yet to allow more than 21 points, and that was to Georgia at Georgia, who I believe has a little bit better of an offense than what Missouri has to offer here. Now they face a 5-0 Missouri squad who has been playing very well. They are coming off back-to-back unders. Now one was against UMass, where UMass hardly scored, and then the other one was against South Carolina. So their other SEC matchup, they did go under here, and I believe Alabama is going to be the best defense by far that they may face all season. Both defenses in this matchup rank top 25 in scoring. Alabama allows 16 per game, while Missouri only allows 14.6. Alabama does allow 5.1 yards per play, but I think a lot of that's a little bit juice. They have played some tough offenses, Florida State, Georgia. I believe that'll come down a little bit here in this Missouri matchup. But Missouri has really struck me out here. They allow 3.6 yards per play, which ranks as fourth best in the nation. Alabama should struggle to move the ball on the ground here against Missouri. That does rank number one in college rushing yards allowed, sitting just under 63 yards per game. They also allow the 10th least passing yards in the country, while Alabama, on the other side, ranks fifth in passing yards allowed in the country. So there's a lot of top 10, top 15, top 20 rank stats on both sides of defenses in this game. I just think we're gonna see a defensive matchup. Um, I do think we can see some scoring. Both teams have playmakers, but I think they're going to be more of kind of like breakout runs. We might see a Ryan Williams deep play, but I think it's going to be a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of small chunkage plays. I think it's going to be a back and forth chess match here. Look at this to be more of like a 24-20 type of matchup here. I like Alabama to get Ryan Williams going early, and if they can't, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm not sure they're going to be able to run the ball very well here. So if they can't pass the ball, if Simpson can't get it going, I think the Missouri plus 3.5 is not a terrible look. But I think Missouri can keep this close, and I think the under is the play in this matchup.
Dude, I love this play, Wade. As soon as I saw it on your sheet, I was just like, oh, that's a man after my own heart right there. Check this out. Time of possession stats, right? Missouri, number one in the country in holding the football, just long drives. Bama, 14th in the country. So you're going to see a lot of long drives. Doesn't hurt. I would love to check this research. Maybe I don't know if one of the good old AI bots or whatever the heck's out there. And I'm an old school guy. I don't like all this chat GPT, all this other stuff. I know it's helpful, but maybe we could ask chat GPT. I have a theory. It's not been proven, but these marquee games that are 11 a.m. kicks, this is 11
Mm.
a.m. Central Time
Yep.
kick, right?
Yep. Yep.
I would
Yes,
be
sir.
willing to bet the under's a good play because these kids are not awake at 11 a.m. These are college kids. They're used to being out partying, man, especially at big time programs like this. You think they're going to bed early with all that NIL money? Heck no, baby. Heck no. So I'm with you, dude. I think probably lean even toward a probably if you want to add a little to it, I would probably look at the first half under as well.
Ooh.
Takes overtime out of the equation. I like that also. But yeah, I think you're getting a great line there, man. I don't know why. I wouldn't have made this total if I was a bookie. If Mikey was a bookie, I would not have made this total in the 50s. I think I'd have made it in that 47 to 49
Yeah.
range.
Yeah. Now
But
I
yeah,
so I did buy this a little bit up to 54 because I think that could be a critical number here, but I think
yeah, it's a good
I
number.
I
Yeah,
think I think anything like 51 and a half, 52, I think those are great numbers. Anything under 51 in this game, I think I like. So if you're somebody who wants a little bit better line, wants the minus 110 or plus money, I would go to under 51.
yeah, absolutely. Because you could, I mean, you're good to go. A 27-24 outcome is possible. 51 points.
Yep.
So if you're on that, or 51 and a half, you win. But you got to love the fact too. Both these teams pressure the quarterback pretty well too, so that can stymie a lot of drives there. Pressure rate, sack rate. Missouri's 16th in the country in sack rate. My
Yeah.
goodness, kind of makes me nervous for my tide here because we've struggled to pass protect at times,
Which is
especially
kind of
against.
why I was thinking I think they need if they can get Ryan Williams going, think it'll
Oh God,
force the pressure. Well, they'll have to respect the pass a little bit more, which may alleviate some of the pass rush, may open up some of the running game for
yeah,
Alabama because they're gonna have to run the ball. So
nice.
it's hard for me. I know I wish there maybe there was a prop, but I would love to bet that Alabama's gonna rush over Missouri's average. They only allow 62 and a half
Yeah,
yards per. I think Alabama will be able to get more than 63 yards on the ground. I believe Missouri held Kansas to 3 yards on the ground.
yeah,
Is that wrong?
yeah. This is a big step up in class for Mizzou. They've really
I think
played
so.
a cupcake schedule.
Yeah.
Alabama's run blocking is slowly getting better, and we got Jam Miller back a couple weeks ago. Jam went
Yeah.
off for over 100 yards. He also ran the ball decently, even against Georgia. I would look maybe at a Jam Miller rushing prop. I think he's sitting at over. What's he sitting at right now? I would maybe lean that way if you wanted a prop for this game. Can also get him to score a touchdown around even money.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a decent game. I mean, Mizzou's got a great run defense. Don't want to disrespect them, but this is a big boy test for them. Really is.
I kind of like that jam look to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Might have to look that way.
I saw it -110 a few places, but it's probably you can probably get even money somewhere if you dig.
Okay.
Don't mind that. Ryan Williams, I saw +150 last night to score a touchdown. That
That's
looks
tough.
yeah, that's usually with a receiver though. You and I talked off air about this. Receivers are weird, especially in an offense like Bama where you got four of them on the field at one time running around and all that. But Ryan Williams is usually the exception to the rule.
He might be worth a sprinkle. I'm not sure about this game, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
What do you like for the next
Jam
play, man?
Miller. You play Jam Miller over 64.5 rushing yards at Hard Rock right now. I don't mind that, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah,
What you
next
got for your next
play.
play?
This kills me. This kills me to do this as an Alabama fan, but I think there's value. Oh, it kills me to say there's value in Auburn Tigers this week. I hate saying I got +4.5 on Monday. It's 3.5 now. That's fine with me. I wouldn't mess with buying the 4. I guess you could if you wanted to. I don't hate it, but yeah. Freaking War Eagle. Can't stand them. Coming off a bye week though. Great buy low spot. They're coming off back-to-back road losses, but I'm not gonna penalize them too much for losing to Oklahoma on the road and A&M on the road in a huge revenge spot for A&M. Now they're coming back home. This is one of the oldest rivalries in the country. A lot of people don't know that. Georgia Auburn's an intense rivalry. Been going on more than 100 years. I just think getting points at home here in Jordan Hare. Weird things happen in Jordan Hare. Ask me how I know as an Alabama fan. All kind of crazy stuff happens in that stadium for some reason. I don't get it. I think Hugh Freeze probably going to scheme up a decent game plan here against Georgia. Um, Bulldogs, something's up with their defense, man. Like the talent's still there, but they've got issues in the secondary. I think if Freeze can get the ball more often to Cam Coleman, who's an absolute beast at wide receiver. I know Jackson Arnold isn't the best passer. He's more of a running guy. But man, if he can get Cam Coleman going here, I think Auburn has a shot to win outright. I did sprinkle the money line here, by the way. Um, Auburn also really stout against the run. Love it. Eighth in the country in yards per rush allowed. Nate Frazier and company. Good stable full of backs, but could have a rough time finding a lot of holes here. Auburn also seventh in sack rate. So youngster Gunnar Stockton could be a little uncomfortable. He has impressed me. He's held his own quite well, leading Georgia that comeback win on Rocky Top a few weeks ago. He hung in there against Bama too. Almost came back and beat us there. But I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it outright upset. I'm Auburn 24, Georgia 23, down on the plain.
Hey man, this is a play that I am going to be giving out to my members as well. I'm looking at the. Actually, I'm gonna go for the Auburn +5.5. Profit X has it at -136. I love that line. We were able to cash Oklahoma -5 on Auburn a couple weeks ago,
Sweet.
so I'm gonna go ahead and come back on the Auburn +5 here. I think this is a pretty good look. I think Georgia going on the road. This is a really good spot for Auburn. Auburn's got a pretty solid roster, so I think this is a really
They
good look.
do. Yeah, they appreciate it, man. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that one. That was probably the one. When you look at their lines the first of the week, that was just the one. I'm like, oh man, I hate this as a bad fan, but as a better, this is an Auburn spot. Good buy
Yep,
low,
yep.
two back-to-back losses. I'm all about it. So
I
I
like it, man.
already know your third play because I cheated. I'm privy to inside information. Me and Wade are buddies here. He writes for our company. Check out his stuff on any of our websites, really. HelloRookie.com, eWatchBet.com, or the flagship BettersInsider.com. He's everywhere on all those UFC, golf, college football, NFL. The guy does it all. I don't know when he sleeps. I don't think he does sleep. But yeah, I want to hear you break down his third game, man. Go ahead. I'm pumped.
Yeah, speaking of those articles, we've got we did not do a PGA article this week. Just did not like the venue over in Japan. New course. I looked into doing an underdog slip for today for round two, but I just did not like what was offered. We'll have a UFC DFS article dropping tomorrow. We cashed out our
Yep.
DFS article last week, some nice profit, so we're gonna run
Yeah,
that back again this week. And yeah, make sure you guys go check out my articles over on those websites, eatwatchbet.com, bettersinsider.com, and hellorookie.com. All free content for you guys to help your bankrolls. This last play, we're going to go USC money line.
Yeah.
Got that Profit X right now sitting around minus 124. USC actually enters week 7 4-1, and I believe their fan base is craving for a big win here too. That will boost them into the top 25 if they do win this one. And this one does have my attention because currently the books have an unranked team favored against a ranked opponent. Not to
Yes.
mention any ranked opponent, a top 15 ranked opponent. And usually that bodes well long term for the unranked team that is favored. And I do believe number 15 Michigan will have their hands full traveling across country facing one of the nation's best offenses. Prior to last week, USC led the nation in yards per play. I'm not sure exactly if they lead the nation anymore in yards per play because that's not something that I dug into this week. But this will be Michigan's third road game, and they were held to just 13 points on the road in Oklahoma, and then they want to turn around and put up 30 points in a tough battle at Nebraska. This is projected to be a very high-scoring game as both teams' team totals are sitting above 27.5 right now, and the total sits at 57.5. As of writing my article, we were looking at 22% of the tickets were on USC's money line, but 40% of the money was on USC money line. All while the money line has gone a little slight favor of USC. So I do believe we've got a little sharp signal here as far as money coming in on the USC side. I'm not sure if anybody's been privy since it's kind of the West Coast. A lot of the Midwest and the East Coast do not pay attention to the West Coast players. But Jordan Maiva of USC has surpassed 1,500 yards on the season, and he has looked very good and is probably one of the surprising quarterbacks of the nation this year. I would say he's probably playing top 10 quality right now, quarterback play. And this will be his toughest test yet, facing obviously the toughest defense he may face all season against Michigan. Michigan is one of the toughest defenses. To see both of these teams put up 28 points is going to be kind of crazy to me. To see anybody put up 28 points against Michigan seems a little far fetched. So I'm not sure if the under is in play here because I do believe Michigan's defense is going to cause havoc. What I love about Jordan Maiva is he protects the ball very well. He's currently sitting at 11 touchdowns to only one interception, but I do believe Michigan will bind him up a little bit. I do believe they will make things difficult on USC's running back duo of Jordan and Sanders to get things going. I believe Michigan will make USC one-dimensional, and I believe USC can do the same on the other. USC ranks 30th in rushing defense, but they rank 111th in passing yards allowed. So I think both teams will look to pass the ball here, which I believe is why the scoring is so high on both sides. But at the end, I think USC will pull away in the fourth quarter. I think this will be a back and forth. USC is going to have to figure out this Michigan defense, and it might take the first half. They may even go into halftime down in this game or the game tied. But I think USC will figure it out. Their offense is too explosive. And I think in the fourth quarter, they will be able to pull away. It could be a close 2-point win, 3-point win. I think USC does win this game by at least 3 points. My model's got them actually winning by 4. So I would play this up to 4 if you wanted to. But I think -3 is just fine if you want to take that. If you can get -2.5, take that. But I'm just going with the money line. Price is good enough around the -120s. If the money line goes up to -145 or higher, maybe I would consider going to -2.5.
Yeah. Love this one. It's a play for me as well. It's one of the first ones I jumped on. I laid the 2.5 early this
Yeah,
week. I don't really get the line, especially USC at home. I made it 5.5. I just
yeah,
think it's too short here. I respect Michigan. Like you said, that defense is nasty, but I don't know. Do we really trust freshman quarterback here again on the road? He showed he struggled on the road earlier this season against Oklahoma. He struggled at times on the road against Nebraska. He looked a little better against Nebraska, but USC's pretty nasty, man. I mean, 29th in yards per rush allowed, 10th in sack rate. Um, I'm with you. I was kind of shocked to see this total is high. And it is total definitely looks a smidge high. Maybe it's maybe like you said, maybe they're counting on some explosive plays, but yeah, I think there's value in the Trojans this week. And again, I don't know what it is since I've been doing this for 24 years now. And anytime an unranked team is favored over a ranked team, it is really, really typically a good wager. I think it's probably 57 to 60% long term,
yeah.
which is a solid wager in my book. So yeah, you got my money, Big Wade. Let's do it.
Well, let's do a quick rundown, and then we will get out of here, my friend, and hopefully back tomorrow for some NFL action.
Let's go.
I gave out Oregon -7. Mike gave out Colorado plus 3.5. I gave out Alabama and Missouri under 54. Mike gave out Auburn plus 4.5. And then we both are on the USC money line play. So let's have another good one, man. I know we went 5-0 and swept the last show, so let's do it again. Let's bring everybody some winners and let's have a good weekend.
Y'all be good.
See you guys.